Hello RageQuitters, today we have for you the Razer ManO'War 7.1 surround sound gaming headset. It's a bit of a beast, as the ManO'War series tends to be. Razer have had the kind of ManO'War series out for quite some time now. Obviously it was the flagship model for the headsets, and it's also a wireless headset. Wireless is great, not for everybody. I've sort of dabbled with a bit of wireless headset myself. I had the Logitech G993 Artemis. Great headset, but you've got some drawbacks that you expect with wireless: battery life, potential for sort of interference if you're at a LAN party, as I experienced it. That's why I went back to the kind of wired headset instead. So Razer kind of potentially addressed that, reducing the cost. Obviously the wireless headsets are all great, but the batteries aren't cheap. The sort of wireless transmit and receiver isn't exactly cheap. They've obviously got the storage inside it, or the sort of space inside it at a premium. Also taken up by batteries and the like. Obviously you need the big drivers and that kind of thing, but they've kind of addressed that with a wireless version of their sort of classic ManO'War headset. It's the same design as you'd expect from the wireless headset, albeit in a wide version. Very, very nice, classic kind of Razer styling. The Razer across the band at the top. Quite a large headset for its type. Obviously they've got the Razer Kraken V2 and the Pro, and they're quite sort of compact headsets. They're sort of standard headset size you'd expect. These are big, monstrously big, but as a result of that, they're also incredibly comfortable. Massive cans, very, very spongy, sort of leatherette feel to the sort of the cans as well. A lot of memory foam sort of thing going in there. Same across the headband as well. Not too much in the way of sponging the top of the headband, but because they are so big, you don't get that kind of pressure you get from some headsets, either around your ears or on the top of your head as well. They are without doubt the most comfortable headphones I've ever had. They are fantastic. Even with, I often wear glasses as well, and sometimes you get a bit of pain across the top of your ears with the glasses. Not the case with these. They obviously go massive. My ears aren't particularly massive. I do have friends who've got obscenely large ears, and they don't have any problems with these either. They do fit in quite nicely without any kind of sort of pressing against the kind of perimeter of your ear. They fit on wonderfully. A little bit big for me there. Really, really good. I cannot fault these for the comfort. They are, as far as I'm concerned, best in class for comfort. I'm a bit of a headset nerd. I've had quite a number of headsets of late, but for comfort, you cannot beat these Razer ManO'War headphones. Really, really, really impressive. Obviously, these are the wide version, and as a result, the cost is a little bit cheaper. So our recommended retail price is £119.99. So that's obviously in pounds, dollars. I'm not entirely sure what the conversion rate is there, and that's compared to the recommended retail price of £169.99 for the wireless version. So you think, okay, well you're obviously going to miss out on quite a lot of features. Though that £169.99 recommended retail price isn't really what you can get them for now. On Amazon UK, you can get them for under £150, and for these versions, a little bit less than the recommended retail value as well, retail price. So really, you're talking maybe £30–40 difference between the wireless version and the wired version, and actually you'd expect that as well. Obviously, kind of standard cable over a wireless transmitting kind of thing. Obviously, there's a bit more cash in the components for the battery and the like, so you'd expect that kind of price difference, which is fair, which is fine. Is it exactly the same as the wireless version? No, it does. It has got some kind of glaringly, I feel it's like crazy omissions that they kind of missed out with the wired version. Not just the absence of a wireless function. You've got some. For me, Razer, it's all about the kind of the styling. Obviously, the styling's everywhere. It's black and green. It's always been black and green. It's what you expect from Razer. You've got the classic black there, and you'd expect to have some kind of green kind of like emblem going on with the kind of the snake emblem at the side. at least somewhere, and there's literally nothing. And unfortunately, unlike the wireless version that I've got the full RGB lighting, or even some of the older non-RGB versions, they've got kind of either green motif at the sides or some sort of green or even white lighting. These have got absolutely no lighting on them whatsoever. Obviously, it doesn't detract from the sound quality, it doesn't detract from the comfort, but you know, we all like a little bit of fancy lighting, and this is no exception. It would be nice to see just at least something going on. Not bothered so much about the full RGB lighting, but at least some lighting. And that's not, it doesn't stop at just the lighting either. The boom mic, the extendable boom mic, which kind of retracts into the left ear cam, is very, very good. Exactly the same as what you get in the wireless ManO'War. Very, very nice boom mic, and it's sort of, you know, it's bendable, and you can kind of point it in any way you want, right in front of your mouth, a little bit further away. You can obviously retract it back into the ear cam when it's not in use, which is all very good. So you can obviously use it as a standard, like some headphones, without having to use the kind of microphone ability, so you can track that in. What you do have on the wireless versions, again, is some more lighting on the end of the microphone, and that kind of, it's a sort of a visual cue that you're either live or you've muted your microphone. You get a little kind of red dot on the end to say you've been muted. I think it goes green when it's unmuted, and it's quite a nice sort of visual cue that you can see just in your sort of periphery that, okay, I'm muted now. I'm definitely muted. I can tell I'm muted because I'm red. You don't have that on this as well, so that's another bit of something they've kind of missed out, which I wouldn't have expected, to be honest. Obviously, being that they're not wireless, they don't have the volume and mute controls on the cans themselves. They obviously are inline remote on the massive braided cable. You have an inline remote here, and I don't know, it's a little bit cheap. A little bit cheap feeling. How it kind of works, how it looks is a little bit cheap. It's got the kind of standard wheel sort of volume control, but there's no kind of click. It just feels quite cheap. I don't know. It just doesn't feel quality. It's got a little bit of Razer emblem in the back, but again, it's just like any kind of cheap headphones you get for your phone or your iPod and that kind of thing. It just feels like that kind of cheap inline remote. There's nothing fancy about it. It's got a little kind of toggle mute switch with a little kind of red indicator that you've muted. Not quite as nice as the kind of light up kind of microphone mute on the wireless version, but you know, it's okay. The problem is that when you mute them, because it's so close to the volume control, you can often, I've had accidents myself where you've kind of muted yourself and all of a sudden the volume's gone way, way up and you've just terrified yourself. Not ideal. I'm not a big fan of the kind of inline control for this. Hopefully there'll be something they'll address in the future with the kind of version 2 that maybe come out. At the moment, it works, it's okay, but it's not amazing. Like I said, the cable for this is huge. I think it comes with a 1.5 metre cable length by default. You can use a sort of standard 3.5mm audio jack, so you can use it in your phone, your iPod, or your kind of Xbox, PS4 kind of thing, without the need for a USB adapter. You've also got at the end for the USB kind of it's obviously it's a surround sound headset. It's not like the all singing all dancing kind of Razer headset, and I forget its name now, but with the kind of a full 7.1 discrete drivers in there. It is virtual surround sound. They are just two 50mm drivers in each cup. Sorry, a 50mm driver in each cup. And obviously the surround sound is just virtualised, but actually they do a really good job at it, and that's done by the sort of inline virtual Dolby surround sound USB adapter that you get with it. In order to enable that, you've got this. So you've got like maybe a 1.5 metre cable length by default. You can plug in another 1.5 metre extension, and on the end of that, you've got your virtual surround sound USB dongle on the end of that as well. So that just pops into your PC, laptop, and that's it. That obviously provides the power and provides all the kind of USB sound card and all the surround sound capabilities that you get with this headset. Very nice. Obviously, the kind of nice kind of braided black cable The cable itself is really, really nice, just let down by a little bit by the inline remote. All in all, I'm actually quite impressed with this headset. It does feel maybe a little bit plasticky, but it is plastic, so that's what you'd expect, I suppose. Like I said, we've had it for a little while now, and you know, you do tend to drop things every now and again, things slip off your head, and you know, and bits and bobs. And it is standing up really well. It doesn't look, it's not looking ugly. You get a bit of fingerprints on there, but obviously nothing you worry about too much. I think the overall build quality is really, really good, but it does, like I say, it does feel a little bit plasticky, with the exception of the kind of like the metal perforated grill around the ear cups. But it is all very much plastic. But you know, Razer have been making headsets for a while. They are pretty renowned for being built really well and last long. And I've no doubts that this will be the same with this headset as well. You just, in comparison to some other higher-end headsets that you know use a lot of metal in the construction, I think it's I've kind of stuck with the kind of classic all plastic, all black, shiny, bit of a mixture of shiny and matte plastics and some kind of leatherette. I very much doubt it's real leather, but you know, it looks very, very nice. It definitely looks apart. One of the kind of best looking headphones or headset that I've seen. And like I said, just the comfort is just immense. Really, really, really impressive. I cannot fault it at all. So that's the kind of first part of the review, generally about the visual parts of it. We'll be looking for the second part, actually looking at the sign-up software that you use to kind of configure the headset and set up the surround sound, and also some little bits and bobs in with that. Obviously, I'll also be testing out the kind of microphones to be able to hear how it sounds when we're actually in game or in, you know, testing it on there. So thanks so much. Thank you. See you in a sec.
Hello, welcome to the second part of the review. In this part of the review, we'll be looking at the Razer sign-up software, the specific software that you use to configure your Razer ManO'War headset. First thing you do is install the software. It's available from the Razer website. And then you plug in your Razer ManO'War headset, and the first thing it will do is it will download some specific drivers for your headset. And this is so you can control the positional audio and the kind of the actual hardware inside the headset. You can kind of adjust those specific things, those specific requirements for this headset that aren't part of the normal kind of synapse setup. So the first thing you do is you want to calibrate your headset, and this is the calibration for the 7.1 positional audio. Out of the box, it just kind of works. It works really well, but you can go and adjust the positional audio, so you can click on each it plays like a helicopter noise in whatever channel it's playing at the time, and you can adjust this. If it doesn't sound quite right to you, you can kind of adjust the position where you want that to come from, and you can adjust it in your headset. But for me, I've tinkered around with this quite a lot. I've not made any noticeable differences by sort of tinkering too much. It just seems to work really well out of the box. So I tend to just click next. Obviously, it plays something each channel, so front right, the right channel, the rear right, the rear left, the left channel, the front left channel, and the front channel. Once you're finished, click finish, and we'll go on to the next steps. The audio menu has got obviously everything to do with the audio, your cans kind of thing, not the microphone, just anything you hear. So you can adjust the volume, you can increase the bass boost. You've got some sound normalization, so you can it kind of filters out any kind of variations of loudness and sort of quiet kind of frequencies and that kind of thing on all different types, like sound levels. I tend not to have that on, but that's entirely up to you. You've got some kind of specific options for like in-game chat and whatever application you use, whether it be Skype, whether it be Discord, or kind of TeamSpeak. You can kind of increase the voice clarity of the people you're speaking to. Just to, any kind of improvements you have from that, you can obviously increase the kind of the level of that clarity, but also the volume level of your chat application as well, rather than just the overall master volume. In the microphone menu, you've got, obviously you can adjust the microphone volume. You can mute your microphone within the application as well as in the inline mute button. You've got the microphone monitor, so that allows you to be able to hear your own voice through your headset, especially with these kind of thing where they've got it's it's really, really enclose your ears and you can't really hear yourself because it's got some great kind of noise cancelling kind of capabilities. So it sounds like you're kind of talking underwater. It's very, very drowned. It's really, really strange kind of noise. So having this ability to kind of increase what you can hear, so it passes the audio from the microphone into your actual headset, so you can actually hear yourself speak a little bit better. It makes a massive difference. Volume normalization, again, very different, very similar to the audio normalization, where you can kind of adjust kind of variations of loudness and frequency levels and that kind of thing to kind of make so you don't get such loud pops and kind of a low hum and that kind of thing. So it kind of improves that. The microphone sensitivity, obviously, if it's not picking up certain parts of your voice, it's be quite quietly, then you can obviously adjust the microphone sensitivity so it can pick that up. The problem with that is that you may, as a bad point to that, you can pick up some background noise, which is, you don't really want that, which is why they've got the ambient noise reduction as an option as well. It kind of drowns out any kind of environmental noises from the background, which is particularly useful where I'm recording this, because I'm due to the kind of vicinity to the train station and a river, a very noisy river. So I have this turned on, although the sensitivity is quite low, and it just kind of does its job at drowning out any kind of background noise. The mixer option is very similar to the kind of the Windows mixer options down here, the kind of audio mixer, where you can kind of list any applications and you can adjust the volume for specific applications. So if you've got a TeamSpeak or a Discord or Skype in there, you can adjust the volume and that. Or in-game, you can adjust the volumes of in-games, plus obviously the master volume. And the final bit is the equalizer at the end. You've got obviously the full graphic equalizer. You can adjust all the bass or the treble or the mid-range. Default, you can obviously customize your own. Or you've got a number of presets from classic, country, dance, rock, techno, entirely up to you what you choose from there. At the kind of top, the settings are very limited, but they don't need to be anything crazy. It's literally the settings for checking for updates and submitting any feedback and changing kind of the language settings and that kind of thing. There are regular updates, not too regular that become a pain. Probably every couple of months sort of thing you tend to have a Razer Synapse update. So it doesn't bug you too much, but at least it's a constantly evolving, a constantly updated piece of software. Currently in the version 2.20 at the moment. You notice at the bottom it's got the Razer ManO'War headset highlighted here. That's where all these options are available from. It's also got the Razer Surround as a second option. But with the Razer ManO'War specifically, I suspect it'll be the same for other headsets, because it's downloaded its own driver for the Razer Synapse software. Everything you manage is in here, is in the Razer ManO'War section. For the Razer Surround, I guess for other headsets that don't have its own dedicated driver, its own dedicated controls, you can kind of control this in here. But if I turn on the Razer Surround in here, it disables my Razer ManO'War headset. So it's completely pointless. So this is kind of an option for maybe other alternative kind of Razer headsets that don't have its own dedicated driver and controls for that. So we can leave that be. So as a kind of some final kind of closing comments of the good, the bad, the ugly, and the recommendations. Right, it's the Razer ManO'War headset is a great headset. The audio is kind of delivered by two 50mm drivers, one in each cup. It's got an omnidirectional microphone, and it comes with a 1.5 meter sort of braided cable with a 3.5mm audio jack on the end, and then that can be extended further by another 1.5 meters. And on the end of that cable has got the USB 7.1 surround sound, like USB sound card that's built into that. So you've got 3 meters cable length in total, which is, I think, more than long enough for most people. You've also got the inline remote control via kind of a volume wheel and a mute toggle as well. And then sort of finally we've got some, the bad and the good. I'll start with the bad first. I don't know if it's not really bad as such. It's more kind of personal preference. I think the Razer are kind of renowned the kind of the design. It's always been black and bright and luminous green, and the headset, whilst it kind of keeps the stunning kind of Razer ManO'War design, and all black and shiny, shiny in parts and matte in others. It's really lacking some of the kind of green highlights that you'd expect from Razer products, like you get on the keyboards and the mice and everything. Everything's kind of black and red and black and green, and it's just missing that on here. Obviously, there's no lighting at all on the cups. So the kind of little Razer logo you see in here is just like a shiny printed kind of black. There's no kind of green highlighting. It's not got any backlighting from it as well, and there's no lighting on the kind of on the microphone as well to tell you whether it's been muted or not, like you get on the wireless version. But you know, you get what you pay for. You save quite a bit of money by getting the wired version over the wireless. But it'd be nice to have seen at least some of those kind of features being carried over into the wired version. It's still the kind of flagship wired headset, so you'd expect some of those features that are standard on pretty much any headset you buy nowadays, you know, over a certain price. I expect to see that kind of those features making its way to the wide version of the ManO'War headset. But you know, ignoring that, the good far outweigh the bad. They're comfortable. They are so comfortable. They are the most comfortable headphones I've had the pleasure of using, and I've used a lot. My headset I have now is the Astro A40 tournament ready headset. Very, very nice headset. But for comfort, the Razer ManO'War absolutely smashes it. So comfortable. They're nice and light. You don't get any kind of pressure around your ears, especially if you're wearing glasses, and no pressure on the top of your head. They just feel so nice. They feel, even after long periods, I don't feel kind of, my ears are sweating and that kind of thing, even though they're using kind of the leather sort of feel cups, with the memory foam. It's still over long periods of time, I'm talking many hours. Still don't have that kind of that uncomfortable feeling that you get with a lot of headsets, or the kind of sweating ears and that kind of thing. The surround sound is almost phenomenal. It's really, really good. I've had the pleasure of using the Razer TheMutsNuts 7.1, which use the discrete individual kind of drivers in each cup to give you the kind of the 7.1 surround sound. And obviously these don't have them. They've just got a driver in each ear, and it's obviously virtual surround, but it's so close to the real thing. You'd be easily forgiven for believing that it's got individual kind of drivers managing all that kind of those channels in each cup, but it doesn't. They've obviously done a really, really good job with the software and the drivers for that, and they should be commended. The overall sound, not just the forgetting the kind of surround sound, but the kind of overall the sound stage. It's got great bass, it's got good mid range, and it's got good high notes as well. It's not like a one-trick pony. Very, very good. The microphone is good. It's adequate. It's kind of average, above average for a sort of gaming headset. It's not, obviously, you're not going to replace a standard dedicated desktop professional microphone for doing recording purposes, but it's definitely adequate for in-game chat with your friends during a game. Yeah, and that's kind of about it. Obviously, I love the styling. I love the long braided cable. There's a lot of good things about the Razer ManO'War headset. Would I recommend it? I absolutely would. If you're in the market for a 7.1 surround sound headset, you could do a lot worse than the Razer ManO'War. It is a great headset for the money. So just over the £100 mark, £120 retail price, but you can obviously get them a lot cheaper than that elsewhere. It is. I'd probably give it a solid. It can have improvements, as you know, all products could, and I'm assuming the version 2 will be out at some point in the not too distant future. And I suspect a lot of the issues that I've raised, and probably other people have raised, will be addressed in those. Maybe it gets some additional lighting. Who knows? Who knows? But hopefully we'll see another version of that soon. But it's definitely. I recommend this headset to anybody in the market for buying one. And that's it. I've been Mark from RageQuitters.co.uk, aka TheMutsNuts. Thank you for listening to the review. If you'd like to leave any comments, please leave them below. If you want to like, subscribe, share with your friends, we're very happy for that. We hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.